Alright, so we're going into batteries versus Teshki. Byleth versus Minmin. Let's see if Byleth can really close that distance. Alrighty. Minmin really just trying to keep Byleth away from her. Those long punches just not letting Byleth in. Thing is that Minmin is such a big zoner. She just puts this big wall of hurt in between you and her. And if you can't get in, you're gonna feel the pain. And right now, Byleth is not able to get in and is currently feeling the pain at 107%. Comes back on the stage, closing the distance. Minmin is not able to make it to ledge, falling a little too low. Trying to... But a well-placed smash attack could close this Byleth stock out. Minmin is looking to do that. That megawatt really just punching that shield halfway down. The TV was threatening to turn itself off because, you know, the TV is very temperamental. And if we don't console it all the time, it gets angry. A well-placed punch takes it back to 2-2. Only having a 20% deficit. This is not much of a lead that Byleth has. Byleth just really trying to get in there. And you see that glimmer of hope every time she's against that shield, just hoping that, you know, maybe you can get that hit. Maybe you can knock Minmin away from the stage, but Minmin closing out that second stock. She has the lead and she's looking to extend it. Byleth needs to close out this stock. This punch is just really making it hard to get back on the stage. That zone just being a little too strong. He attempts to get the 2-frame spike, but it doesn't work out for him. Those arms really just making it hard for Byleth even to touch the ground. Oh, Byleth is just, this whole game has been trying to get in. Because if you're not in, you're going to get punched in the face. Byleth just trying to weave her way in right now. Really just needs to get an opening, but is not able to find it. And Dustin takes game 1. Game of zoners. Now you see Palutena, you know, she has that explosive flame. Really controllable. You know, a flick of the stick will send it super far. You know, we'll see if this is the correct shot from her. Calling out that roll, Palutena doing a really good job at keeping in. It's basically rule number 1 with Minmin. You know, you just got to keep in. Once you get pushed out, you know, you're going to get punched like 20 times. And when you get punched 20 times, that's a lot of damage. And, you know, the name of the game, don't take damage. Dustin looking to make space. Makes it relatively quickly. Gets Palutena away from her. A megawatt sends her off stage. And just catches that up B with a well-placed megawatt. Palutena not really being able to land back on stage. The danger of those hands are just astronomical when you really take a look at it. You know, you can have one traveling, you know, covering an option, and you could still be holding on to the other punch. Minmin has 2 arms, and one's bound to the A button, the other is on the B button. Press the A button and it'll throw the fist. And the fun thing about that is that even if you dodge the first one, you know, you get that good old left hand on the B button. And she can throw that whenever she wants. You know, So really just being able to orchestrate a counterattack is a dangerous game, because even if Min Min throws one option, she is already able to throw out another option. And it's just something you have to be in the mindset for. You really have to consider that. You cannot play on autopilot with Min Min, because if you do, Min Min's not like the rest of the cast. And you'll probably lose some games. Palutena managing to stay in, keeping stage control off of Min Min. But it is 3-1, and Palutena really needs to put in some work to finish off these stocks. Those dash attacks just not being able to close it out. Min Min making some space. That dash attack finally finishing it off at 208%. Let's see if he can make up this deficit. Palutena barely managing to make it in. Those punches just... He's trying to counterattack, but the problem is that having, two options, being taken away from you, not being able to land on stage, just leads to the end of game 2, and he's not able to make it back to stage enough to even counterattack on Min Min. Battery's going with a Roy to see if he, Roy's fast, and he hits pretty hard at close range. So if he can get in, he can do quite a bit of damage. But as I've been saying this whole time, getting in is the hard part. And we've all learned against Dustin's Min Min, he's not going to make it easy for you to get in. Roy not being able to make it back. Personally, I hate Roy's recovery. I'd rather play Chrom. Chrom's being like a worse character. I'd rather play Chrom because at least my recovery will take me up, But that's just my preference. Roy is the better character in the end. Battery's really making his way in and just tearing Min Min up, racking up that damage. Trying to push his way in again. That distance that is really being his downfall. Battery's making it in again, taking stage control, but the name of the game is, can you keep it? You really need to just not give your opponent room to breathe. And that back throw will finish off Roy. Batteries is just really trying to make it in against Teskey's Min Min. And it's just a whole different ballgame, We saw him pick up a stock, though, and that could be the beginning of a comeback. He gets in, racking up a quick 31%, knocking Min Min off stage, taking it to 1-1. Battery's only at 13% on his Roy. Will this steam be enough to carry him through the rest of this game? Roy staying in as much as he can, not letting Min Min shake him off. Really turning up the heat. The Fireboy Roy matching that roll. He gets tossed out, but can he get back in? Working his way in, paying very close attention to those two arms, really considering if now is the time to air dodge. Ooh, turning his neutral, his jab around to attempt to pressure Min Min even after the roll behind. This Roy is not shaking off of Min Min. Min Min is just desperately trying to get him away. But Roy's just staying in. That double-edged dance would have killed, but in the end, we're not supposed to play in the past. Roy just wants to stay in. 148%. He could close it out, knocking that punch out of the air with his sword. Minmin's on the edge. The edge of glory. The forward tilt. Closing out game 3. Battery's just really taking that game, you know. Picking Roy really allowed him to keep in and stay on Minmin.